Okay, today's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be behind the camera most of the time. So we're going to do 4.2.4 profiling soil. So the science of soil encompasses much more than just the surface, so what we can see. From crop production to building development, the characteristics of soil are important for management decisions. While the topsoil is frequently considered in decisions pertaining to use, subsoil, parent material, and bedrock must not be overlooked. What differences are present within a soil profile? How do the characteristics of different horizons compare? By examining the profile and analyzing each horizon, you'll be able to answer these questions and more. So I have several soil horizon samples for you here that have been pulled from all over Kentucky by my soil scientist. And we're going to be determining the physical characteristics of the soil profile. So I'm going to normally would have you guys use a different sample, but we're just going to work on one together today. So for each horizon, we're going to determine the soil color, texture, and structure type, and grade, as well as the horizon name. So it says observe the profile of soil and measuring tape. Record the depth of each horizon on the card. So first what I want to do is just kind of take a look at all of them together. And you have to keep them wet to really be able to see that natural soil color. So first, I want to get good at looking at the different soil horizons and being able to determine them. So we'll start with this one just because it's on the side. So we can, hopefully the lighting you can see, there is a natural change in color right here. And if I put my finger on it, it makes that change a little bit more obvious because it changes the gradual line into a little bit more sharp line. And this would be my A horizon, and then this would be B horizon, probably all the way down would be B horizon because I'm not getting into any rocky material. So the next one is another one that's really easy to tell, and this one has, it's a really good example, but it did get mixed up. You can see all the pieces are broken, so I'm not sure that it's all back in the exact right order, but we can see a really big difference right here, and you can see this one is actually kind of a mix. So we've got what looks like the topsoil, this dark color, and we have the light color, and you can see the same thing is happening right here. So it depends on which way you turn it. So that would have been, the distinction is really obvious between the two colors, but it's not in exactly a straight line. But we would say somewhere right around this break is where our A horizon ends, and we get down into our B horizon. And I don't know where they pulled this sample from. I don't remember, but look at this awesome soil. It is really good. I think, and I don't know what the soil scientists would say about this. I can't remember. Some of these I've had for several years. I don't even know where my A horizon would end. I do have roots growing all the way down here. So I would say that this might be actually A horizon, which you don't normally see in Kentucky. Normally it's going to be less than 5 inches, and as you can see, that's not. I won't use this one as our example, but I did want to show it to you. But you see down here, I'm getting into where, I'm getting into where there's a lot of rocks and maybe some mineral deposits down here. The next one is also pretty easy to figure out. It's a really distinct change, right? Can everybody see that? Boom. Right here, we have a change from topsoil down to subsoil, here and below. And then I'll use this one for the one we're going to do in class today. So we'll go ahead and look at this one. It's shorter, but we can still see that natural break from A horizon to the B horizon right here. And as far as organic matter, that's just, you know, this little bit of stuff at the top that was adding. Okay, so there's our soil sample. So let's start working with, and I have a feeling this is going to post sideways. Okay, I intended that to be flat and it looked like it turned sideways, so I started, so at least this part will be the right direction. Let me get this sample that we're going to use good and wet for us so we can find the different horizons. Every good soil scientist is going to have a measuring tape and a spray bottle in their truck with them. Okay, so if we look, I think you can probably see a natural break in color. This is the same, kind of the same, and then right here, it goes from a brown to maybe a more yellowish brown. So there's a change from here to here. So I want to measure, number one, was to record the depth of each horizon. So we'll put from 0 to, we're going to measure this first horizon. So from 0 to 10 inches is that first horizon. I need my own cameraman, I think. Okay, and so then let's go ahead and measure the next horizon. This is a really crappy spray bottle. Okay, so let's see if I can hold it up a little bit. If we start at that 10-inch mark, actually, let's start at the top. So the next break, I would say, is right there. Let's see. It's gonna be in this area. You see that color change? So I would say from 10, let's go ahead and put 10 to 32. And then the third horizon, we'll put from 32, and there might be a different horizon here, but we'll go ahead and put 32 to 47. We don't have enough of that last little piece here to do much with it. So now we're going to go back to this first horizon. So we're going to look for the name, the type, the grade. We're going to do a little bit of a texture test for each one of these horizons. Okay, so let's start with our topsoil. So we said that was 0 to 10. So if I'll just set this down just a second. Okay, so I broke off just a little bit. I'm not going to do the whole ribbon test. Actually. Okay, I'm going to swap directions real fast. I am going to just do my texture test this way. So it's not sticky at all. It feels smooth with some pieces of grit in there. So on texture, I would call this a 3. It's either a loam or a silt loam. So I'm going to go with 3. Now I did skip color. So let's look at color. It makes it easier that we only have to go with 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have dark brown, very dark brown, or black. We have light brown, brown, or yellowish brown. We have red or reddish brown, and we have dark gray, light gray, and white. So I don't think that this really classifies as dark brown, because if we compared it to, I can't, I've got myself on here. If we compared it to this brown, we can see this would be dark brown, this would be dark brown. But if we look over here, I don't think it has that dark of a color. So we're gonna go with a number 2. Sorry, I definitely need my own photographer here. We're gonna go with a number 2 for color, and we've got a 3 for texture. So then we need our structure type. So we have granular, platy, blocky, prismatic, massive, or single grain. So if we remember, most of our A horizon, a lot of it's gonna be the granular. So when I break this, does it break into nice small little bits? And I would say yes. So we're gonna go ahead and go with granular for our structure type. So that's a 1. And then our next one that we're gonna look at is a structure grade. So we have the options of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Or I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would go with 3. And then our horizon name is going to be, it's not organic. We don't have there's no organic matter up there. So we're gonna go to 2, which is a horizon. We are gonna skip the color because we can't do that, but we can say, first we have an A horizon and it is 0 to 10. Okay, so next we have our B horizon. So we said our B horizon starts at 10. So this is gonna be where we see our B horizon. So if we naturally break some pieces off, sorry, I'm supposed to grab a screwdriver. We wanna see what kind of shape. It's so dry, it's hard to break. We want to see what kind of shape it breaks into. So, I would just call this a blocky. It's wanting to stick together pretty well, and that's part of the reason why it's hard to break. So I would call it a blocky. So we're gonna go with 3. And then I would call that a strong one. Now we need to think about color. So at this point I would definitely call that a yellowish brown. So it's still gonna be a number 2 for color. The color didn't change too much. And then we have our structure. Oh, I'm sorry. My 3 was supposed to go here and my 4 here. Okay, sorry, trying to video and write, I messed up. So the color was 2, yellowish brown. The texture was 3, blocky. The texture, we didn't do the texture yet, so I need to do the texture. Let's see. There's a little bit more clay in here, but it's still not very sticky. It's still really smooth. So I think that I would still go with a 3. So we don't have much difference there. I do need to grab a paper towel. Sorry. You have to come with me. Hello.
Bathroom?
All right, so
Bathroom?
our texture, we're gonna stick with a number 3. So that's correct. Structure type was 3, blocky. Structure grade was 4, strong. And then we need our horizon name, and we are going to go with B, which was 3. So then we have one more issue to deal with, and that is this down here. So it is a different structure because we have all of this mineral matter, which it does look like it's mostly on this one side. I don't think it goes all the way through. If it went all the way through, we would call it a frangipane. But I am not sure that we can call that a frangipane. But there is something about it that's different, so we do have to call it its own horizon. So we already have established the height on that, so now we need to do color. So we're not going to go with one. Are we going to go with yellowish brown or reddish brown? I think it's kind of in the middle. So let's go with 2/3. Texture. So here's our options for texture. I'm not going to stop the camera again to do that one. So I would say it's going to have more clay in it, so we're going to go with a 4 for texture. And then our structure type, we will stick with blocky. Our structure grade, we're going to go with strong. And our horizon name is still a B. So all we need to do, normally we would do a rub, which is kind of fun. I won't make you do that, but we do a rub. So we kind of rub the soil on here like a crayon. And then we can see our 3 different colors that we have, but you guys obviously can't do that from home. So we have B is 10 to 32. And then we have another B that's 32 to 47. So I don't think it's parent material. There's not enough rocks to call it a parent material, but we probably are getting pretty close to that parent material. So not perfect. It would have been a lot better if you guys were here. It was really hard to do with me filming and doing the lab, but hopefully you guys got something out of it. So I'm going to focus on those answers again. And then you will just need to make sure that you answer your conclusion question. So what differences do we see among the horizons? Why does it matter how deep each one is? And what sources of error might we have when naming the horizons? Okay, this is not a perfect science. It's kind of a guess and get as close as you can science. So I'm going to sign off here. If y'all need anything, just shoot me an email.